Hi guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for clicking on to this video. I appreciate you for even thinking about watching my video. I'm trying to grow my channel, so every time I get a viewer, my heart gets a little bit bigger because I'm so excited that you decided to use me to cure your boredom for a few moments. My name is Susie and this is my channel. I go over Gypsy Rose content, and today I'm going to continue to go over some Gypsy Rose content. Today, my video is going to be about some of Gypsy Rose's most outrageous, most unhinged, most crazy comments that she's left on her social media platforms. And I'm talking about YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and of course, TikTok. Now, this became quite a challenge because her TikTok got banned, and I did not get a chance to go through each one of her videos and just like look and see, even though I'm sure she removed or archived a lot of them. However, I did make a post on my TikTok and I got a lot of help, and I do appreciate everybody. One person in particular was Doxy on YouTube. So helpful. Thank you so much for your screenshots. I got a lot, and I'm not going to even be able to use them all in this video. I'm going to obviously have to make a part 2 or part 3. I got a lot because I wanted to start from when Gypsy Rose was first released from prison. I believe that was in December of 2023, and all the way to current day. And guys, I'm telling you, I think I'm only like maybe 6 or 7 months in, and I have enough content to fill like the next half hour. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start, I'm not going to have them in perfect order. There may be some that came a month or so before the other, but I'm just going to start from December and try and make my way down to present day. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so happy you're here. So let's get started. Okay, so we got a lot of screenshots to go over. I'm only going to go over about 10 in this video. I just want to give you the heads up. It's going to be about 10, and no, it's not going to make it all the way to present day, but that's more incentive to come back for more, especially if you enjoyed this video. Let's start with screenshot number 1. This is where it all started. Gypsy Rose was fresh out of prison. She was on her media tour with her then husband, Ryan Anderson. They had been on so many TV shows, they had been on podcasts, and they were just telling their story. Right off the bat, Gypsy was starting to rub people wrong with some of her comments. Me in particular, I was Team Gypsy. I was Team Let Her Out. But she started to do some very strange things, and her comments were a little off-putting. One in particular, where she said she did not identify as an unaliver, when we clearly see that's exactly what she went to prison for.
But he's the one that did the actual kill, not me. I can't kill anyone. That's why he's in trouble to begin with, because he's the one that did it. So when they say I'm a murderer, I don't identify as that.
She tries to put more blame on Nick because he did the act, and she did not. She just pulled the strings and told him how to do it and invited him into the house and stole the weapon. So it seems like she's having some difficulty identifying with what she did. She wants to put it all off on him. During that time, Ryan had also got some criticism because a lot of people felt he was a little too clingy. The show hadn't quite even come out yet, but a lot of people made comparisons between Ryan Anderson and Gypsy Rose's mother, Claudinia Blanchard. And I will say, they do kind of look alike. I guess it was a bit jarring for people to see, and I'm just saying this to describe their physical appearance, another heavy-set person kind of clinging on to Gypsy. That was kind of what her life before prison looked like. However, Gypsy seemed to have been in love. Ryan was extremely happy, and when haters started to comment on Ryan's photos and say certain things about the comparison, or maybe like they didn't seem like a good fit, this is what Gypsy had to say. Ryan, don't listen to the haters. I love you and you love me. We do not owe anyone anything. Our family is who matters. If you get likes and good comments, great. If you get hate, then whatever, because they don't matter. I love you. Besides, they jealous because you're rocking my world every night. Yeah, I said it. The D is fire. That comment right there was just a little bit TMI. I don't think no one expected it. It was just a little crazy. It was a little bit too much. However, it was her defending her husband. Like I said before, I was here for it, and I'm sure a lot of the public was. And Ryan was, of course, his little response was like, who says I give a damn about what these jealous people say anyway? Haha, now come get it, baby. Yeah, they were loving their married life. The TV show hadn't become a thing at this point, But from the TV show, we can clearly see during the same time, she seemed to be very off put by Ryan Anderson. I don't know what their relationship was like before she got out of prison. It seems as though Ryan expected an extremely physical relationship right away, if you know what I mean. Like he really couldn't wait to get in bed with her. Gypsy seemed to just wanted to absorb the moment just for a moment. Ryan was just like, no, we're getting it on now, baby. It was a lot. So I can see if she was a bit overwhelmed. But, before we knew about the TV show, it was easy to just say, hey, they're in love and she defended her man. That was my perception. She also followed up with this video right here. And I hope I don't get any kind of copyright violation for it. But this video right here.
You guys, I'm here with Gypsy Rose herself, the celeb of the moment. So I know you have so many followers, so much love on social media. But what I want to know is, what do you have to say to the haters?
Well, can't bring me down. I'm on a high right now. I'm living my best life, and y'all can't take that from me.
And the D is
fire.
That literally broke the internet because the D is fire. That was like, Gypsy, calm down, girl. You just got out of prison. You're already out of pocket. It was just funny. I remember when that clip was being circulated, and I was here for it. I loved it, and we didn't know we was like creating a monster, I think. But yeah, that was her living her best life. Public perception and public support was very good on Gypsy as she first got out of prison. Let's move on to comment number 2. I absolutely believe in rights for special needs individuals. My husband is a special education teacher, but I support people that actually have real disabilities, that they can't even function in normal society without guidance, so much so that they can't even speak because they are so challenged. Those are the individuals that need to be advocated for, not individuals that claim to have a disability but know the difference from right and wrong and should be judged by a court of law based on their ability to know right from wrong, which my co-defendant does, and that's why he's still in prison. The court had every bit of evidence that the public does not. There is a reason why he is still in prison, and it is because he was well aware of his choices, whether the public wants to believe that or not. That is why every appeal has failed. Now, she did acknowledge that her husband is a special education teacher in this comment. However, it comes off as incredibly tone deaf. It seems as though that she's created a hierarchy of disabilities, and people who have more physical, more visual, more like apparent disabilities deserve advocacy. The ones who may not be physically seen as having a disability, should be expected to behave as everyone else. And that was just very wrong and just not right to say. And she used the term real disabilities, which is actually really loaded. It just invalidates everybody who actually do have disabilities that are not maybe seen or obvious. Thanks to the recent FOIA request, we now have even more insight into how Gypsy feels about people with disabilities. This is a comment from 2013 on one of her secret Facebook accounts where she spoke about a contender on the show The Bachelor. The comment says, "And the girl with the one arm, we got it. She has one arm. Get over your disability, woman. Everyone has something wrong with them." Again, very tone deaf. Gypsy does not seem to see anything wrong with what she is saying. Not then, not now. Gypsy spent 8 years in prison, and I would like to have thought she educated herself about, her co-defendant and why he was easily manipulated. And it doesn't seem like she did that. Nick had a real disability. He was collecting a permanent disability check. He had autism and a low IQ. And it's kind of sad to me that she feels as though she didn't have much of a part and he did, and he deserves to be where he is, when she was the one who pretty much set his entire crime up and she manipulated him.
I did end up getting a knife, and I hope that it will be adequate. And I got tape and handcuffs, and I hope that that will do. And thank you again for doing this for us.
In my opinion, neither Gypsy or Nick should be out of prison. They both need some very deep mental help. Nick, he had a disability. Gypsy kind of manipulated him. She even created like alter egos to match his multiple personalities and just encouraged him to do this. He would have never gotten a hold of her mother if it wasn't for her. He would have never met her mother. They were in totally different states. And it's just so sad that she feels that, this is all his fault. Her only crime was asking somebody to do it. He did do the stabbing, but Gypsy pulled all the strings. Let's move on to comment number 3. Comment number 3 is a bit more offensive than the comment before. In this comment, she says, "Oh, so you read the text where he said he was excited and going to enjoy doing it? And that is who you want to see free? Sorry, but that doesn't sound like an innocent autistic little buttercup to me. He is guilty in doing his time for his part, same as I did mine. That is my point." And here's my comment to this. Gypsy, Nick never said he was happy to do it. He actually made you beg Victor, one of his alter egos or other personalities, to do it. Nick did not want to do this. He had to really disassociate to even talk about this with you and pretend he was another person. He used a different voice. So Nick, the person, was not happy to do this for your mom. Nick did want to be with you. He would have done anything to be with you, and you played on that. And when she says innocent autistic little buttercup, that's actually quite dismissive and kind of offensive towards people with autism, Gypsy. That should not have been said. The point is that they both did the crime. And it took Gypsy a very long time to even acknowledge she had a microdeletion. This was discovered, I think, in 2011. She never talked about it until recently when she got pregnant. That was when she started to acknowledge, oh yeah, I do have a microdeletion. That also messed with your brain, and maybe you were delayed. Maybe, I think she is a little delayed. I'm so sorry, that's just my personal opinion. All of this is just my opinion. She is delayed a little bit. And you can just kind of see and how she thinks. She does not think like a normal person. And I'm not holding that against her. She has a microdeletion. However, she's been fed stories that her mother abused her. And she used this abuse as a way of getting out of prison and collecting clout from her mom's death. And always only putting the blame on Nick is not how you resolve your issues, Gypsy. So between the time of comment number 3 and comment number 4, a lot happened. Gypsy and Ryan had broken up like months maybe after they had moved together. I want to say maybe just weeks. It wasn't long, but broken up. We had the TV show that was still going to come out. And so in the TV show, we saw that Gypsy was not into Ryan at all. And almost immediately, I think in like the second episode, she started talking about Ken. Her stepmother, Christy, was in contact with Ken. And that was just at the forefront of Gypsy's mind. She had to get back to Ken.
I'm going to tell you straight up, he wanted to. But he didn't want to ruin your happiness. He loved you that much. And he still does.
I loved him so much.
I know. And look, there's always going to be a part of you that does, and that's okay.
I just don't understand because it's like he found someone else.
Well, he's not with anyone right now.
Of course not.
No. Right.
Of course not.
There was a few episodes where she cried about being married.
I would have given anything to that man. I would have bought the sun, the moon, and the stars and gave it to him on a platter. But it doesn't change anything. Like, I married Ryan. I have a marriage now. I'm wearing this wedding ring that belonged to Ryan's mom. Like, I have a commitment to my husband, and I want to keep that. But what's gonna happen when Ryan and I have an argument? Is that little thought in the back of my head gonna say, Ken is single?
That clip right there was all I needed to see. Ryan should have packed his bags and left immediately after hearing her say that. I mean, I'm sure he didn't hear her say it. She was in a room by herself. But still, that was her mindset. She could not wait to pick a fight, and that was what she did in the TV show.
Any desire from you to reach out to what's his face?
You can say what's his face's name.
To Ken?
No, I'm not an idiot. I know how to care for a dog.
I didn't say you were an idiot. Baby, I didn't say you were an idiot.
I'm mad because I don't want your sister to know these types of things. Like, that's stuff between us, stuff that we work out.
What I'm feeling right now is the same way that my mom made me feel whenever I would talk to people. Because don't talk to your dad. Don't tell him this. If I told my dad too much, she would act like you're acting.
Don't do that.
Every little chance she got, she picked a fight with Ryan. She even took a morning after pill while hanging out with her sister and talking about how, you know, Ken is single and smiling about it. And she's this one comment right here.
Christy talked to Ken, and not only does he regret leaving me, but he also is single too.
How can you say that while wearing the man's ring? Like, girl, have some decency. Anyway, she gets pregnant. And there was a lot of speculation about whether this baby was Ryan or Ken's baby. So Gypsy decides to clear the air. And here's the comment she left. Left Ryan on March 23rd, had a period April 17th, made love with Ken and only him April 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, conceived on May 4th, and positive test on May 24th. Ken is the father. The amount of detail in this public comment is very unusual. She's saying that she left Ryan as if that means they wasn't still married. They were still married. If she said she left Ryan on March 24th or 23rd, whenever it was like you guys were still married as of that time and you were actively cheating on Ryan. You can also see that she's very impulsive. The same way she wanted Nick to just unalive her mom, she couldn't wait to just leave Ryan and get pregnant with Ken, like almost immediately. She didn't think about this. They spent a weekend together, and to give us the details of the exact days, very much TMI. We did not need to know all that, Gypsy. Quick note, it's hard to say whether or not Ken knew he was going to get Gypsy pregnant. Regardless, he was wrong for disrupting a marriage. But on a live, Ken and Gypsy both agreed that she was on birth control. Only if Ken knew.
She's not pregnant for everybody who keeps asking.
No, I'm on
She's
birth
not
control.
pregnant.
Like, what the hell?
And we have not had any intimacy. We're just hanging out. We're just total friends. We're just hanging out as friends. That's all it is.
And using the word made love doesn't make it any more innocent. You cheated on your husband. These are the dates you cheated on your husband because you were still married. You could have just gone back to Ryan if you actually felt some kind of conviction in your heart about the oath you made, about the vows you made, but you didn't. You used Ryan as a home to go to when you got paroled out of prison, and now that you were out of prison, you was like, let me go right back to Ken and just live with my dad and my stepmom. It was part of her plan. Ryan, you meant nothing to her. And the fact that to this day, he still defends her is really sad. And you're going to see that she takes every opportunity to tear him apart. Of course, that'll be going forward with a few other comments. Before we do that, let's actually show comment number 5, where she acknowledges her microdeletion, finally. I'm struggling with my emotions today. The more I hear and read about my genetic condition, the more I worry. I feel like I'm already a bad mom because I know I have this, but I choose to have kids anyway. I mean, I didn't know it could be passed down until recently, but it only makes me feel selfish knowing that I could be bringing a child into this world with a health problem. And I hate the way it sounds because I don't want to sound like my mother, but it is a valid concern. Basically, I could be bringing a child into this world to suffer a fate of living abnormal. And I just feel like a piece of crap. And it would be all my fault. Like, that is something that is heavy on my heart. Comment number 5 is actually a private chat that was sent to Katie Joy, also known as I Think Without a Crystal Ball. She's a content creator. This was the comment that Gypsy left for her. And here's what I have to say about this. Thankfully, from what I know, and we don't need to know Aurora's medical record history. We don't need to know anything about that girl. She needs to live a private life and grow up. She already have enough on her plate. But from what we do know, thankfully, Aurora does not have the microdeletion. I feel like in this comment, Gypsy was kind of ready to get sympathy just in case Aurora did have it. It seems as though she's already laying down the foundation. Oh, I feel like a terrible person because I'm choosing to have kids knowing I might pass this down and they may not have a good quality of life. In a weird way, she was like, oh, I don't mean to sound like my mom. But you don't have to deal with what your mom had to deal with. Aurora is not exhibiting the things you exhibited as a child. So Gypsy don't remember when she was a child. She doesn't. I don't remember. That's not a part of people's lives that just gets erased in the memory as life goes on. So thankfully, you don't have to deal with what your mom dealt with. It seems as though Gypsy wants the sympathy because she doesn't want to be burdened with a sick child. I hate the word burden, but, and I'm using it very loosely, she doesn't want to have to care for a sick child. Dee Dee had to care for a sick child to the point where now public perception is that she had Munchausen when the microdeletion was not even discovered until 2011 when Gypsy would have been 19 or 20. So for 20 years, Dee Dee looked into symptoms Gypsy had to get them corrected. Gypsy is the person she is now because of her mother, of all that her mother did. I wanted to better educate myself on this microdeletion, so I did a quick Google search and came across this article. I am going to blur out the photo of the child, but I felt it was very interesting. Iris diagnosed a 1q21.1 microdeletion story, and this is from January 2017, long before Aurora's birth, long before Gypsy's release from prison, and it sounds a lot like what Dee Dee had to deal with Gypsy as a child. Iris is now 3 years old. She was born at 37 weeks and weighed under 5 pounds. From the beginning, she had trouble with feeding and weight gain. Doctors did not seem to believe us when we said she threw up all the time, despite medicine and diet changes. They treated us like we were looking for attention whenever we brought Iris into the doctor's office. It wasn't until she was at her 9-month well baby visit that we finally saw the main doctor at the practice, a man with a very good reputation. He took one look at that baby and declared that she needed to see a list of specialists immediately: neurology, gastroenterology, otolaryngology, kidney specialists, feeding therapists, developmental pediatricians, eye and hearing exams, MRI, and genetics. He said he wasn't sure what was going on with her, but that it was over his head, and he wished she had seen her sooner. Iris attended all those appointments and more in the next year. She was diagnosed with microcephaly, severe GERD. She is now on a feeding tube and growing like a weed. Developmental delays, vision issues, coordination and gait issues, a minor kidney problem, and a lot of very mild things as well. Genetics finally got a hold of her, and she was then diagnosed with 1q21.1 microdeletion. All her conditions are considered to be caused by the deletion. Unfortunately, there is really not much information for parents, patients, caregivers, or doctors about the condition. Gypsy is the person she is now because of her mother, of all that her mother did. Like, she got her eyes corrected. Her teeth were like literally falling out of her mouth, not because of medicine. Gypsy had messed up teeth a long time. In all her childhood pictures, there's caps and there seems to be something going on with her mouth. She didn't really want to even care for Dee Dee, because we all know towards the later years, even in private chats to Gypsyrose'S neighbor, Aaliyah Woodmonsey, that Gypsy told her her mom was sick. Her mom had all these different ailments, and she was taking care of her mother. She even mentioned it to Nick that her mom's not doing well, or she's taking care of her mother. And this comment right here just came off as Gypsy wanted to be like, let me just get ahead of it in case my child does have this microdeletion. I want to get that sympathy right away so people won't say anything bad about me for what I did to my mom. Because again, whether Aurora has it or does not, it's not our business. But I would just hope Gypsy, even if she did, would give Aurora the best care she could get and understand why her mom did what she did for her. That's all I have to say about this comment. Let's move on to comment number 6, where this is where she starts to dig into Ryan Anderson just a little bit. So before I get to comment number 6, in the TV show, Gypsy wanted a dog. Here's the clip right here.
So, let's talk about this whole puppy thing.
I know you want a dog. I know you want one right away. But, there's other logistics we need to think about.
Like what?
Well, we're in an apartment.
There's lots of people with dogs.
If it was up to you, you'd go get the puppy today.
Maybe.
Because at an apartment, baby, you have to take them for walks. And you have to
Dang
pick
it.
up their pee. You have to pick up their poop and stuff.
I'm not an idiot. I know how to care for a dog.
I didn't say you were an idiot. Baby, I didn't say you were an idiot.
Ryan was just trying to explain to her that, a dog is going to be a lot of work. You're going to have to walk it. She gets upset. This is how she was picking a fight with Ryan every single chance she got. She wanted this dog. Ryan did not say he wanted a dog. Gypsy did. And then once she got the dog, she broke up with Ryan. So in this comment, she states, "Tell them how you want to get rid of Pixie. I have the receipts. Funny how all you post is her, and then you text how you want to dump her off on someone else. People will see who you really are soon." Now, just a little context. This was left on a comment of a video, I'm guessing from one of Ryan's lives, where he does show Pixie quite a lot. But Gypsy had this to say, and I don't know exactly what the conversation was or why she would have posted this, but she had no right. Gypsy, that was your dog too. In fact, it was more of your dog than it was Ryan. You dropping the dog off on Ryan saying you take care of the dog, when this dog is a forever memory of you, of something you and him got together, and more for you still. You abandoned your dog. And thankfully, Ryan did step up and take care of the dog. He didn't give the dog away. But if he wanted to give her away, Gypsy, it may have been a very big hurt piece for him. Like, oh my goodness, every time I look at this dog that probably you named Gypsy, he probably wouldn't have chosen a name like Pixie. It's a beautiful name, but he probably wouldn't have chose that name. You chose that name. And now he's stuck with this forever memory and going through a breakup. Like, I can imagine how hard that must be. She just really dug in this comment. And she was like, people are going to see who you really are soon. Ryan barely had public support. Let's just be honest. Like, I would say at first I was Team Ryan after the breakup, but I slowly realized, no, he's kind of creepy. He does use Gypsy's name for clout, but Gypsy does the same thing to her mother. She can't get mad at him for using her name for clout when she's only famous for what she did to her mother. This piggybacks off her comment number 7, where she says, "You were her family, Ryan. You promised me she would be safe and loved. Another broken promise. One of many." You promised me. Gypsy, you promised him you was going to be his wife. If he wanted to give Pixie away to a loving family, maybe because he felt like, hey, I have to work. Pixie's home by herself while he's at work. You were supposed to be the one there caring for her. So if he did feel he wanted to rehome her, which I do not condone, like a dog, any kind of animal you take in as a part of your family, rehoming is out of the question, in my opinion. However, you were the one that was supposed to be there caring for her, and now she's home by herself for like maybe 6-7 hours, maybe 8 hours a day, while Ryan's off at work, and you are living your life with Ken. Yeah, you abandoned her. Another broken promise. Yeah, that was the promise you wanted. You wanted this dog. Shame on her for even bringing up a broken promise when she married this man to have somewhere to live, made these false promises, made these false vows to him, and then cheated on him. So, yeah, Gypsy, shame on you. Let's move on to comment number 8. Here is a video that Ryan Anderson posted on his TikTok. It appears to be him at some party and a girl is twerking on him. This really set Gypsy off. She left this comment on a video about this exact moment. He is only so heartbroken when he is on live receiving gifts using my name for sympathy and clout. This is so double standard. She's just dogpiling the comments on for Ryan. At this time, Gypsy is still pregnant. She's living with Rod and Christy, and they are technically still married. The divorce had not been finalized yet. Anyway, people was like, go Ryan, go Ryan. We were happy for him. She was so mad to see Ryan move on. She even made a comment in one of her live streams where she was like, he's still my husband, he's still my husband.
Looking at that video, that's my husband. That's my husband. He's slapping some girl's ass. That's my husband. We're still married. He's still married. I'm still married.
She was trying to prove a point that this is the double standard when she moves on and you know, people are upset at her, but yet Ryan's still married and he's twerking, some girls twerking up on him. The difference is you cheated, Gypsy. Ryan had every right to start to move forward with his life, even though he still hasn't. He still has not. He had every right to do so. Let's just be clear. Ryan will never be over Gypsy, I feel like. I feel like he needs some therapy. He needs to talk to someone. But it seemed like the moment one thing in his favor was posted, people was like, yeah, Ryan, do your thing. She gets upset. And I just didn't think that was fair when she was the one who cheated. She should have just shut up, zip it, kept it to herself, because she's the reason Ryan has some girl twerking on him. And I don't even think she even cared. She just don't like to see anything positive about anybody that she doesn't like. Comment number 9 isn't quite even a comment. It is something she posted. Please mass report at gypsyrose.tiktok. I would rather this account banned than in the hands of a foreign hacker. It's just the irony for me, the irony of this post. While Gypsy was giving birth, apparently her account got hacked, and
How do I get a hold of you in Telegram? I don't know how to do that.
If you pay only $200, I will give you this account, username and password.
Let's see what they say. Let's see how many people tip for me to buy this account. Okay, so let's see how many people throw out some money right now if I should buy this account.
This Turkish hacker was taking over her channel, which the Turkish connection I think has Turkish background. So it's a little weird that that would be the background of the person who hacked their channel. I think it was a setup, but however, she told people to mass report her channel because she would rather see this account banned than in the hands of a foreign hacker. Well, today is what, April 22nd, and the account is banned. It's banned because of other reasons, because Gypsy is the only person who could fumble a 9 million account on TikTok. Things were handed to Gypsy all her life, and she can't care for anything properly. She was given free trips to Disney. She was given free everything. She was given this account with 9 million and didn't want to advocate. She didn't want to do anything. She just wanted to grift and get gifts and pretend she was some social media influencer. You are not. Your history will forever be that you unalived your mom. And with this platform, she could have done so much good advocacy work. And of course, in her time, I did not want Gypsy to come out of prison and be an advocate. I wanted her to come out of prison, get help, get her life together, and then start to advocate. But she wanted the social media attention. She wanted to be the Kim Kardashian, the mommy influencer, the podcaster. She's just jumping from thing to thing to thing. And she somehow fumbled a 9 million account and it's gotten hacked. She want to blame mass reports, but I don't think that's what happened. I sure didn't take the time to report Gypsy. I never have. However, she did tell us to do it. So maybe the people who did do it just listened to what you said finally and they mass reported you. She was also in this Discord recently talking about how we can get other content creators off platforms. She wanted other people to mass report, and it's just like the irony. You're done. We've seen what we needed to see, and you are done. Bye, girl. Let's move on to comment number 10, which is going to be the last comment in this video, and then you'll just have to wait for the next one to see more comments. Comment number 10 is this. Tomorrow, May 3rd, is my mother's birthday. Out of respect, I will not be posting. I take this as a moment of silence, and I call out creators to do the same. Put aside the BS gossip, conspiracy theories, and drama, and give her family a day of peace to grieve. And if I have the courage to say this, then others should too. Hashtag peace for the Petries. Just like comment number 9, comment number 10 was in a story on her Instagram and on her TikTok. She wanted everybody to just not post the following day, which she said tomorrow is May 3rd. This comment was made March. It might have been March 3rd, March 2nd, I don't know. But for some reason in her head, she thought it was May. It was really weird. Her baby had just been born, maybe a couple months old, and she's already thinking it's May going on June. I don't know. Anyway, she wanted all the content creators to just give peace to the Petries when she didn't even do that. I also made a video about this, and she left a comment on my video. So according to Gypsy, tomorrow is May 3rd, and we need to take a moment of silence for her mom that she unalived. I mean, let's give her that. On May 3rd, we will take that moment of silence. Too bad that's not tomorrow, though. Gypsy responded, I wanted to be respectful. I just forgot we are in March, not May. fine. You still said what you said. However, when Meg rolled around, she still made posts on the day of her mother's birthday. So she's telling us to do something she doesn't even do. She just wants people to stop telling the truth. She wants people to stop advocating for her mother. This is actually the first and last time she ever made a comment on my video because she blocked me soon after. Also, following this story, she posted the most unhinged, disturbing video I've seen in a long time. Here's what the video said, and I'm going to clean it up because unedited is just too much for me.
I don't give a flying what you think about me. Love me, hate me, talk about me. I don't give a single either way. If you can't handle who the I am, then do yourself a favor and walk out of my life. And don't bother looking back, because I sure as won't be waiting. I'm done wasting my time on people who don't appreciate me. Got a problem with me? Write that down, fold it up real nice, and shove it right up your miserable because I don't give a I'm not changing, I'm not sugarcoating, and I sure as hell ain't letting judgmental, toxic mother drag me the down. Take your fake-ass opinions, your two-faced gossip, and your pathetic energy and get the out of my way. I don't have time for whiny, weak-ass drama. You don't like me? Fantastic. Go cry to someone who gives a because I'm not the one. I've spent enough time catering to spineless assholes who think their opinions matter. I'm living my life exactly how I want to, and if that pisses you off, well, that sounds like a personal problem. I don't need your approval, your validation, or your dumbass opinions, so your bull, your negativity, and most of all, anyone who can't handle the real me.
Like, what? That was the video she posted because she was so ready. That was the funny thing. That was posted right after the comment about the May 3rd. She really thought she was going to get off parole the following month. I just didn't know where her head was. The micro deleting was deleting. It was deleting. She just, in her mind, skipped a bunch of months. She clearly knew what the month was. She said May 3rd is tomorrow, and then she was like holding a countdown. 3 months till I'm out. It was very strange. And that comment just was a little disturbing. Like, Gypsy, I hope I never cross paths with you because I feel like you're going to hurt me. And then she left a comment on my video trying to clear it up, but it was just like, still, that video was very unhinged. Like, it was almost like a threat. Like, who is she threatening? She's like, once I get out of prison, oh, I don't give a F. You know, I don't do that. Like, it was a little bit much. I'm a good girl. I would never post nothing like that. But that's all I have for right now. These are the first top 10 comments. There's going to be more in another video that I'm making hopefully today. I don't know when I'm going to upload it. Probably next month because I have a lot of editing to do. And I don't have as much free time as I thought I was going to have this month. So we'll see. Please like, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching. Also, if you have any screenshots that you feel I may not have or maybe I have not seen, please send them to me. Please message me on TikTok. Here's my TikTok right here. I will give you credit if you like. If you're not comfortable, you can let me know if you want to remain anonymous. I'm more than happy to make sure, like, you know, you are safe as well. Thank you so much, though. This is just what Susie says. Tell me what you say in the comments down below. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I love you. Bye. Have a nice day.